Hello, Abnormal Investigations. I've got another encounter for you. I hope you all enjoy this one. It sounds like a pretty good one, and happened on a fishing trip. So summer's coming. A lot of us are going to be fishing, so this is a real possibility for any of us. This happened to my Aunt Donna, my brother Eric, and I, one late and one summer day. I have to say this since this happened. We have not been back to this fishing place. It was summer, school was out, and Eric and I were bored out of our minds. Our parents had divorced, and at the time we were living with our grandmother and Aunt Donna. We loved living with them because we always got our way. We were outside mopping around when Eric says that he thinks going fishing would be a good idea. Right now. I smile and say, okay, let's go ask Donna to go. So we find her, tell her our idea, and she agrees fishing would be a great idea, and that night we could come back and have a fish fry outside. We run together all of our things, and Donna helps us load it into all the four-wheelers. I jumped on the back, Eric gets on the front, and Donna is the driver. We set out. Now, where we live, we don't have to go very far, down about probably an hour or so, to where we go to the gully hole, that's what we call it. I have no idea where the name came from, but it's a sandy river bank with a little pond of water that the river had created. Honestly, it's quite beautiful and peaceful there, but in order to get to the location, we would have to ride our four-wheelers about an hour. We get there and set up our poles. Everything is going great, but me, getting impatient, gets up and starts collecting seashells. I wade in the river away from Donna and Eric. All my attention is on the water, looking down in the sand to find odd shells. Without knowing, I get pretty far away from them, and when I look up to the other side of the river, I see something. Whatever I'm looking at is on its two legs, walking like a man, but it's hairy like a bear. I couldn't quite make it out because it kept to the shadows and behind trees. Then I feel a hand on my shoulder, sending me 10 feet into the air with fright, but I don't scream. It's Eric, and he must have seen this thing to him for him to come to me. We stare at this thing for a while. I ask him what does he think it could be, and he shakes his head and tells me he has no idea. This thing must have been getting impatient because it started to throw rocks at us. There was no way the rocks could hit us being all the way across the river, but it clearly wanted us to go away. My brother gets the idea that maybe we should go back up. I think he meant pack up, and that we should move on. No sooner do we make it back to where Donna is, and this thing comes out. It comes out of the riverbank, and we all see it clear as day. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Donna was in a complete shock looking at this thing. It walks to the riverbank, bends down, and starts to drink water. I look over at my brother, but he's gone. I start looking around for him. Then I find him a couple of yards down the river, but he has his rifle aimed right at this thing. I panic and start running toward him. He's getting ready to shoot when I jerk the gun. The gun goes off, and it falls to the ground. You can hear the shot echoing around us, and I can see Eric is mad. I look toward where the creature was, but it is now gone, and I can see it fleeing into the woods. Then we hear boom, boom, boom. Something was hitting something. We look around. As this beating sound starts to slowly grow all around us, larger booms, it was behind us, in front of us, beside us. At this point, I was so scared. Without saying a word, my brother picks up the gun, and we hightail it back to Donna, where she had already started picking everything up. It doesn't take long to throw everything back into the four-wheeler. We get on, and as we're turning around, we hear something running in the woods all around us. I scream, go, 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 please go, get out of here, as I'm starting to really well up. I'm crying like a 2-year-old. Donna throws the gas to the floor, nearly losing me, and we, like a bat out of hell, are going down the train tracks. We get home, we tell our grandma what happened. She sits all three of us down and tells us it's quite an unbelievable story and that we probably saw a bear or a mountain lion. we sat there and we look at each other. And we all agree that if we go telling people about what we saw and saying it was Bigfoot, that people would think we were crazy. But we know what we saw that day, and it was no bear and it was no mountain lion. These things are almost too human looking. The way they move, the way they look at you, the way they throw rocks, everything about them is almost just human, except for their appearance. I would say that y'all are pretty lucky that you didn't shoot it, because it sounds to me like you were in a clan of them, and they had already circled you, or may have already been there when you got there and were just hiding. They may have been foraging for food, trying to fish, trying to find things, and if you would have shot that one over there with it not doing anything, I doubt that y'all would be coming out of the woods. You would probably be on the next search team. I always say that if they're far enough away and you have no reason to hurt them, let them go. Because you never know, when you shoot one and now you have an injured being, large, intelligent, and there may be more than one in a family pack, that may be the last shot you ever fire. And what you go through whenever it does do what it's going to do to you may be so terrible that you'll wish you'd never took that shot, because you don't know what they're going to do to you, where they're going to take you, what you're going to see, or how they're going to do away with you. So that's something to think about next time you're out. Until next time, guys, keep your head on a swivel, don't be something's dinner, and we'll see you on the next one.